Grand Madam, everybody. Big shout out to Mars, Graphiel, Bartzabel, Agalia Rept, Turehimo, and Elelagap. These two wanted to join me in my video today, so I wasn't going to say no. I'm going to be doing an educational video today instead of doing my next shadow work step, which is determination. I'm going to use this as a baby step in between step 5 and step 6. So this video, I'm going to be touching base on what you can do to defend yourself if you're in a legal situation running pro se, such as myself. So if you're dealing with corrupt officials, a corrupt judge, a corrupt lawyer, just dirty cops possibly, and whatever else is in between, you need to know how to arm yourself and how to visit the proper avenues and channels so you can kind of put a barrier between yourself and getting completely obliterated and blown over. So I've had several people reach out to me locally in the area asking me who's a judge that I was dealing with and just small details about my case, to which I found out I am not alone in my situation. So seeing a little pattern here, I've decided to make a little educational video on how you can defend yourself if you seem to face corruption. So if you're dealing with a dirty judge, you're going to want to go to, I'm going to be referencing Pennsylvania because that's the state that I live in. You're going to want to visit your state's Judicial Board of Conduct site. So in Pennsylvania, ours is judicialconductboard.org/filing-a-complaint/. This is where you're going to send in, you're going to print out the form that you get online. You're going to fill out all relevant information, material evidence you might have that actually supports your proof of claim. State your conclusion, state any rules or laws that you know of that they may have broken, send in evidence for them to analyze, and restate your conclusion as to the situation going on. Stick to relevant facts to the subject matter, do not deviate and state opinions, and you'll get a lot further. For lawyers, you're going to want to be visiting attorney-general.gov/submit-a-complaint/civil-rights-complaint-2/#G as in girl, F as in frankincense _182. That is where you're going to go to submit civil rights violations. So the Attorney General handles a plethora of problems. You can report any misconduct whatsoever, judges, lawyers, if you suspect dirty cops to be involved that are just tossing information, if it's a custody matter and CPS is involved, you can report them as well. Also, the Department of State is a good one for any kind of child practitioners, counselors, mediaries. They're going to be also the avenue you're going to want to visit. If you think that possibly this is a lot deeper in the rabbit hole than what it appears on the surface, and you think there might even be a dirty Fed, and it does happen. Granted, majority of the FBI likes doing their job. There might be one or two bad eggs in a bunch, as, expected. So you're going to want to make sure you inform what's called the OPR. That is the Office of Professional Responsibility. Their address is U.S. Department of Justice, 950 Pennsylvania Avenue, Northwest, Suite 3266, Washington, D.C. 20530-001. Again, make sure you stick to facts, relevant information, state your conclusion, any rules that they're going to be violating, any evidence to analyze that might have been disregarded that you feel is relevant to the subject matter, and mail it to them. Above that, you can contact the Office of Inspector General, and the OIG for short. They investigate a variety of matters, including allegations of fraud involving commerce, department grants and contracts, improprieties in the administration of department programs and operations, allegations of employee misconduct, and other issues concerning ethics, compliances received through the OIG hotline. Now, their address, check guys, is 601 Walnut Street, 300 E as in Echo, And that is for my local area in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19106. Next, what you're going to want to do, now mind you, these are going to be if you have all relevant information available at the time that you are copulating your strategy to fully check. If you want to use chess as an analogy, I do, because I love the lineage of Shamat. I value that. I like chess, and I do enjoy using it as an analogy for life situations. The PA District Attorney is going to be the next move, and these are things that you want to do simultaneously if possible. This way, every single bureau and every single body all the way around is going to have to do their job, because if one person doesn't, you're going to have the one or two people that actually do want to do their job. They're going to be wondering why Johnny over here, Joe and Bill over here didn't do their job, but Mike and Jim up here did. And all the way around, they're going to want to be checking off boxes to see what's going on. How come this one did their job but these two didn't, and why their information disappeared, but you have complete track record of accountability of why things were done here but not over here. It's kind of like keeping everyone in check on your end. So the PA District Attorney, now my situation is going on in Luzerne County. Like I said, I think this is a Kids for Cash scam. I think I have the entire racket pinned down right down to, local people to deal with. That I'm not going to get into, though. Let's just say my intuition has been on overdrive. So for the Luzerne County, Pennsylvania District Attorney, you're going to have Sam Sangaldolce and Detective Lynch. Now, the district attorney decides whether or not to prosecute based on evidence presented by police. Now, like I said, if you want to check the police to make sure they're doing their jobs, you need to keep everybody in check, especially if it's something you're determined about. If you are determined to get justice, despite the stronghold, strong-armed, blunt force, excessive abuse of power used to try to deter you from achieving that goal, you want to keep everybody in check and make sure all the I's are dotted and all your T's are crossed. So the district attorney is responsible for investigating all illegal activities before deciding to file a case against an accused person. So here you can report to cops, judges, attorneys if you suspect child trafficking, a potential, Kids for Cash. You can also call the national hotline to report that also if there is any suspected activity. Make sure all your evidence is organized, gathered, and material and relevant. So the DA's fax number in Luzerne County, Pennsylvania is 570-825-1572. Their address is 200 North River Street, Wilkes-Barre, PA 18711. Now, for relevant information in a case, material evidence is distinguished from totally irrelevant or of such minor importance that the court will either ignore it, rule it immaterial if objected to, or not allow lengthy testimony upon such a matter. That goes, searches and warrants, among other actions, are all common ways to gather evidence, depending on how the evidence... Now, here's the key word. Depending on how the evidence is gathered is what deems it legally obtained or illegally obtained. For example, searches, warrants are generally only allowed if probable cause has been found. It's like tapping into somebody's records. You would need a signature from the body it belonged to. Otherwise, that is called forging a signature, which is a federal crime and a felony. Or turning in evidence and or a legal instrument, a document, if you will, turned in by an attorney. That would be the brief summary. If the information in that summary does not match up to the testimony, case history, police records, or anything else in between, that is what's called forgery. And that is illegal evidence. Now, in a criminal trial, tainted evidence, also referred to as evidence of taint, is evidence that was acquired by illegal means. For example, if authorities gather evidence using a wiretap without proper warrants, the evidence will be deemed tainted. It's like recording the PA. It is a two-party consent state, and both parties have to consent prior to doing so. Otherwise, that evidence is illegal. So make sure your evidence is legally obtained. If all else fails, make sure you report everything else to what's called a public integrity section. That's all I have for today. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. You want to say bye, Paulo?
Bye. Have a great Tuesday. Have
Remember,
a great day.
how many things do we focus on once, buddy? Just one thing at a time. That's right. Have a great day, everyone.
Good day.